Std.6 Subject English Lesson number 3.6 The Merchant of Venice. Before I start this lesson, I would like to give you a short introduction related to this lesson. The play highlights the fact that love is more important than money and mercy is preferable to revenge and love lasts forever. The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare in a commercial play. The story of the play revolves around Antonio, the rich merchant of Venice, his best friend Bassanio, who wanted to marry Portia, the beautiful and intelligent daughter of a wealthy man, but had no money to reach Belmont, where Portia lived. This was the short introduction related to this lesson. As you can see the subparagraph of the lesson, here I start. Antonio was a merchant. Now, Antonio was a merchant. Now, what is meant by merchant? Merchant means whose work, whose job is to buy and sell the product in large amount, especially by trading with other countries. So, Antonio was a merchant who lived in Venice, a prosperous means a successful, usually by earning a lots of money. So, he was a prosperous who lived in the city in Italy in those days, that is about 500 year ago. So this is the time which is 500 year ago. Sea voyages were dangerous and it was coming the sea voyages which was dangerous, which was not safe, and yet some adventurous. Now what is meant by adventurous? Willing to try new or difficult things which may be often dangerous. So they were trying some dangerous things. Some of the adventurous merchants travel across the sea. So some of the merchants travel across the sea. Some others spend lots of money in sending the ship. So some merchant has spent lots of money while sending the ships to faraway countries. These ships brought back spices and other treasure from India and other country. So this ship brought many spices and treasure from the India and other country. The merchants sold these things in Europe. They made a lots of profit in this business. So they bring everything from outside of India and other country and sold this thing in Europe and made a lots of profit by selling this and making a nice business. Let's move to the next paragraph of the lesson, dear children. At the time when the story begins, so this is the time when the story started, story is begins. Anthony was waiting for his ships. So Anthony was also waiting for his ships to return with merchandise. Now what is meant by merchandise, dear children? Merchandise means goods that are brought and sold. So Anthony was also waiting for his ships to return with the merchandise. He had put almost all his money in the ships. So Antonio almost has spent all his money, invest all his money on all these ships. So he was waiting for his ship to return. Antonio was a kind man. Antonio was a very nice and kind man. He had many friends, but his, so Antonio was having many friends, but his, what it is, let's see to the next paragraph of the lesson. Best friend was Bassanio. So Antonio best friend was Bassanio. Bassanio was a young and handsome noble man, but unfortunately, now what is meant by unfortunately? Due to bad luck, he had no money. So Bassanio was the best friend of the Antonio and he was very young and handsome nobleman, but due to unfortunately due to bad luck he had no money. Bassanio want to marry Portia and Bassanio want to marry a girl whose name was Portia. Portia was beautiful and intelligent and Portia was very beautiful and intelligent girl. She was the only daughter of a very wealthy man. Her father had died, leaving her a large estate. Now, what is meant by estate? Estate means large money, property left to Portia. So, Portia was a very beautiful, intelligent girl, and he was the only daughter of a rich man. And her father has died, but behind he has left lot of property and money to Portia. Let's move to the next paragraph of the lesson. in his will. Now what is meant by will means an official statement of what a person has decided should be done with their money and property after their death. So Portia father has make a will. In his will, Portia's father had written how Portia husband should be selected. So he has written that how Portia husband should be selected. He had set a test for her suitors. Now what is meant by suitors? Suitors means a man who wants to marry a particular woman. So the Portia father has set a test for a man who will marry to the Portia. They has to choose between three cascades. Now what is meant by cascade? Cascade means a small decorative box. So they have to choose between the three cascades. Such kind of test Portia father has done to select the correct husband for Portia. So they have to choose between three caskets, one of gold, one of silver, and one of lead. Lead means metal. So there were certain boxes which they have to choose the correct box of casket. Let's move to the next sub paragraph of the lesson. Each casket had something written on it. So each box it was written some message. On the gold casket it was written, whoever chooses me shall gain what many men desire. So on the golden casket, on the golden box, it was written that whoever man chooses this golden box shall get whatever the man desire. On the silver casket, whoever chooses me shall get as much as he deserves. So in the silver casket, it was written the message that whoever choose this casket, silver casket, shall get as much as he deserves. On the casket of lead, on the casket of lead means a metal. On the casket of lead, whoever chooses me must give an hazard. Now what is mean by hazard? Hazard means risk, all he has. So in the last box, which was lead metal box, has to give all the hazard, all he has, all the risks he have to give over here. Let's move to the next sub paragraph of the lesson. One of the Portia suitors. Now, what is meant by suitors, dear children? Suitors means a man who wants to marry a particular woman. So he came here to participate in this test. Was the Prince of Morocco. He chooses the golden casket, and the Prince Morocco has chosen the golden casket. But when he opened the casket, the message inside said that it was not the right casket, and when the Prince Morocco opened the casket, inside that box it was written the message that this was not the correct casket which he has selected. All that glitters. Now what is meant by glitters? Glitters mean producer or lots of small bright flash or reflected light. So in that box it was written the message that all glitters is not gold, every shining thing is not a gold. It was written when the prince has opened the casket of gold. Let's move to the next sub paragraph of the lesson. Another suitor, so another man who wanted to marry the Portia, who came to participate in this test, who was the Prince of Aragon. The Prince of Aragon came to participate in this test, chooses the silver casket. The Prince of Aragon chooses the silver casket, but that was too not the right casket. So the Prince of Aragon also not selected the correct casket. It was the wrong casket which he was selected. Dear children, hope you all understood the first part of this lesson. Thank you.